his human impediments or disabilities, if you will. He begins to talk about his speech not being what he would expect it to be as one who should be speaking. And so God gets angry about this. He's like, who gave humans mouths? Who makes people mute or deaf? Is it not I? And it says God is angry, but in his anger, he offers another solution or an alternative to Moses, and that would be that his brother Aaron would do the speaking while God continues to speak to Moses and delivers the messages to Aaron to speak. What I'm thinking and noticing, this is just Valencia speaking, often in our society and today, a person may faultly assume that because God provides a workaround, that he is pleased with disobedience, or he is okay with you feeling like you can lean on a shortcoming. He's like, I don't care nothing about that. I gave that to you and I need you to still do what I told you. So one may believe, okay, Moses won this battle per se, and so God was like, okay, I'm going to give you Aaron because you won. But it tells us that God was angry. It says, and then the Lord's anger burned against Moses. That's verse 14 here. Remember Exodus 4. And could it be that it wasn't that the Lord was okay with Moses' disobedience, but God needed what he needed to be performed. And so that's why he provided this other way. So that's something to think about. And then let's jump down to verses 24 through 26. When I was younger, I had issue with this text because I'm like, okay, Moses, I'm seeing what Moses is saying yes to, not dealing with the disobedient portions. And I'm like, he's asked to do this very big task for God by speaking on behalf of a whole group of people, right? So I'm like, surely that would be enough. No. When we get to 24 and 26, if you don't understand what's happening here, amid this grand thing that God is requiring of Moses, the text takes time to tell us that Moses was disobedient in another area that may seem small to us as people. It may seem insignificant in the grand scheme of the big thing, but it was still required of him. And what is that? Remember, Moses is a descendant of Abraham, and it was required that the sons would be circumcised. He had not yet circumcised his son. So what do we have here? We have his wife, Zipporah, stepping in, though she was not from his culture, right? Remember, he met her in Midian and was given her as a wife because he escaped from where his people were. And so she performs the circumcision, though it was not her responsibility on behalf of their family to take this curse off of Moses. And I'm calling it the curse because this text is telling us in 24 through 26 that the Lord intended to put Moses to death. Now, in this Christian Standard Bible, it says that the Lord confronted him and intended to put him to death. So for the reader to catch up and about who's he talking about, and it's clearly Moses because of what Zipporah has to do. And it says that she threw the foreskin at Moses' feet. Okay, well, let me read it as it was written. So Zipporah, this is 25. So Zipporah took a flint, cut off her son's foreskin, threw it at Moses' feet and said, "You are a bridegroom of blood to me." Okay, so keep that in mind. And it also tells us that in 26, so he let him alone. Okay. And the assumption can be that he let him alone, maybe God, because in the top of this at 24, it's saying that the Lord confronted him and intended to put him to death. Keep that in mind. So we got two acts of disobedience. The Lord had this whole wonderful, beautiful encounter with Moses as his chosen leader in this moment. Moses was pushing back and God even sent him some help, and God still got up in the middle of the night like, oh, I'm about to kill you. Take it how you want to. God is sovereign. God is holy. What he said must be, should be. And even if we can try to negotiate with our little bitty human intelligence that we think is so great, he requires what he requires. And we must be able to stand in front of him and do what he says and humble ourselves before his throne. So I want to make that note. And of course, the portion that was highlighted for us to close with is the very end of the chapter. And this is when Moses and Aaron assemble the elders of the Israelites. And Aaron, it says that Aaron repeated everything that the Lord had said to Moses, okay, and performed the signs before the people. the people believed, and when they heard the Lord had paid attention to them and that he had seen their misery, they knelt low and worshiped. Okay? So that is where we are with Exodus 4. And I will return in part 3 to deal with these night visions. And if that term sounds strange to you, this would be what the Lord is giving as a message in the form of dreams while I'm asleep. Okay? I'll be right back.